Nisha Nathani from Lake Washington Girls Middle School, you were telling us how you decided to get ahead of this issue on costumes. And I love what you said about intention is different than impact.
Yeah, we really feel like the kids at Lake Washington Girls Middle School are open and interested in being respectful and inclusive people. We have a really racially diverse school, and we want all of our kids to feel like they are seen and they are heard and they're connected to our values and our culture. We felt like if we could get ahead of this issue and really help kids understand that there are costumes that feel fun and feel like they are complementing a character or an idea, but actually that intention doesn't line up with the impact, and there are many people who feel like a costume can be offensive.
Yeah.
How do we know when something is offensive? And you know, a lot of people are asking that too. I mean, I had this big discussion last year about Moana, and I had a lot of friends who are Asian who are very passionate and said, no, this is appropriation. But at the same time, I was kind of I found myself being on the other side of that argument, saying, but I like Moana, she's a character. And so I don't know if that made me ignorant. You know, I was very careful. It's hard to sometimes charter those waters.
It's really hard to know. I think that if we are taking the symbols and the imagery from a culture and using them in a way that is superficial, then we're not giving space for the complexity of that culture and the complexity of the identities that come with it. Moana is tricky, and tricky for me too. I've had a lot of conversations.
Sure.
My family can attest just in the last few weeks about Moana. She is a rich character, but in many ways she is presented simplistically in her culture, right?
Right.
And so we need to ask ourselves, are we able to celebrate Moana and listen to her music and enjoy her without maybe taking on aspects of that culture in order for us to benefit through a costume?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, look, Teen Vogue magazine actually put together a video about this issue. They talked to 6 women from different cultures and asked them how they felt about some of the more common costumes that we see. And here's a short clip of one of them. And you know what I hear sometimes people say, and it's totally well-intentioned, they, in the sense, feel like they are celebrating the culture, obviously that's not their own. Like, what do you say when kids, I'm sure kids have asked you that question.
They do. They say, you know, we're celebrating Moana. We really want to wear, you know, dress up as a Bollywood star. Boy, I love Bollywood films. There is a sense that when we do that, especially with a culture, that we are just taking one aspect of that culture, and we're really minimizing that culture to something quite superficial. And while it could be exciting and interesting to a kid to wear a sari for Halloween, it feels to someone who has maybe struggled with all of the symbolism and imagery that comes with that culture because their culture hasn't been seen and heard and respected in all the ways that it could, and hurtful.
And that's, I want to actually go to this other clip from the video because it highlights the point you're trying to make. It basically highlights something I didn't know about Hawaiian culture and her explaining why when people dress in a certain way, how it actually is very hurtful. So check this little clip out. It's only like 15 seconds.
Aww.
Yeah, it was something I didn't know, and it's good to hear that perspective. And by the way, if you want to see the full video, I think it's only about 4 minutes. It was produced by Teen Vogue. You can text the word culture to 206-448-4545.
Wow. It's such a great conversation. And I think as long as people are open-minded, you can approach it at a very civil and respectful way, right?
I think you really can, and what I really appreciate about the approach we took this year is by doing it in advance, there was a sense that the kids of color in our school who may have had feelings about cultures that have come through their Halloween experiences in the past didn't feel like they needed to do the explaining or the educating, that we as the educators put it out for everyone to get the same shame-free message. So there was no shame associated with it. There was just the sense that we need you to know that your intention doesn't always line up with your impact. Let's make an effort to think about our costumes.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, it's good to at least have the conversation. Let's think about it. Let's be thoughtful. Nisha Nathani from Lake Washington Girls, thank you so much for joining us and having this conversation. And again, you text the word culture to see that full video from Teen Vogue.
Can't wait to watch it. I'm going to go text it right now.